Be fearful when others are greedy. G'day guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Tim, and yep, we're doing it. The death cross. We're getting in this time before the crowds. We're going to take a look at the 20 and 50 week simple moving averages and a potential death cross occurring sometime in the next couple of months. Now, I know what you're thinking. This might be a little early to start talking about death crosses because we've got a lot of bullish momentum. However, it is something that I want to put on your radar for a couple of reasons. So first of all, you will notice that we've bounced off the 50-week moving average, and we're now finding resistance here at the 20-week moving average. Now, why is that significant? So let's have a look back through history to see what happened at a similar time in the cycle. So you can see here in the 2017-2018 bull run, we bounced off the 50-week moving average, just like we did here. We then hit resistance at the 20-week moving average, just like we're doing now. Now, in 2017-2018, we got rejected and we went through the 50-week moving average, and that was soon followed by the death cross. Now, you'll notice also in the 2019-2020 cycle, we did something similar. We bounced off the 50-week moving average. We ended up getting above the 20-week, but then we crashed through and we created a death cross at the same time that we crashed through. Now, if we go back even further in time, let's have a look at 2013, 2014. So you can see here, we did a very similar thing. We bounced off the 50-week moving average. We got slightly above the 20, and then we went through it and created a death cross at the same time. So you can see this repeating pattern. It looks very, very familiar. The 20-week goes up and it comes down almost like a snake, and it goes down at an angle, and it crosses through the 50-week moving average here, here, here. And now we are currently en route to follow that same pattern again in 2021. I've extended the line here for the 50-week moving average. Now, this will be relatively accurate for the next month or two because it is 50 weeks worth of data. Now, the 20-week is a little bit more dynamic. So what I've done is I've measured back 20 weeks just to see what is included in this simple moving average. And you can see that currently we've got this red week here, and that's the last week. And we've got all this price action, including the big dip, and we're also including the green weeks we've had now. So next week, it'll move on to another red week. Then we had another couple green weeks, and then it was red. So it really depends on what happens with the price over the next couple of weeks. If we keep increasing in time, then this average will turn around and we should be, we'll be avoiding the death cross. But if we get rejected at the 20-week simple moving average, or even if we get above it like we've done in other occasions, and then come back down again, the 20-week simple moving average will then end up crossing the 50-week anyway. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a daily chart, and we're looking at this blue shaded area, which is the 50-day moving average. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because throughout the history of Bitcoin, we always tend to bounce off the 50-day moving average and come back to it. You can see that we do that at all these points here. Now, right now, we are extended away above it. We're about 25% extended away from the 50-day moving average. So at some point, we will come down to touch it. Now, if we keep going up, the moving average will eventually start moving up like that, but we will have to come back to touch it. So that is something to keep an eye on. At the moment, the 50-day simple moving average is down here. So there is a chance that we do at some point come down to touch it again to test that 50-day simple moving average. And looking at this same chart, I've just added in the 50-week moving average in red. So you can see if we do come down to test the 50-day moving average, we're getting very, very close to the 50-week moving average as well. And we know what happens when we go below the 50-week moving average. We've never recovered in another bull run from that point onwards, and we end up bottoming out before we start the next cycle. Okay, so there's one more thing I'd like to show you with Bitcoin. We're now looking at a 1-hour chart. This is the recent swing low, the bottom, and here we are at the top where we're finding resistance at the 20-week simple moving average. Now you can see that Bitcoin was in this ascending channel until it dropped out, but now it's found itself back in the channel and it seems to be retesting itself inside the channel, seeing if it's going to work its way up again. So that's interesting. But have a look down here at the RSI. Now, this is only a 1 hour chart, but you can see that there is a rising wedge forming with the 1 hour chart, which does have a high probability of breaking downwards. So there is a lot of water to go under the bridge before we really start talking seriously about a death cross. I just want to put it on your radar because we are following a very similar pattern that we have followed in previous cycles. Now, where these lines cross at the moment, where I've got them aligning, is around the end of September. Now, if we get more bullish momentum, that will obviously extend this 20-week simple moving average out to here somewhere. So we could be somewhere in October. So somewhere in the mid-September to late October 6-week range, that's when we may expect a death cross if we follow this same pattern that we've followed in previous cycles. Now, there's no guarantee that will happen. It is quite possible that we go up and make all-time highs. It's just something that I want to put on your radar while everyone is so greedy and focused on the bullish momentum. Let's be fearful and look at some other options and not turn a blind eye to some of the things that the charts are telling us. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Please subscribe and like the channel if you enjoyed it. You can also follow me on Twitter at TechnicalTimCR1, and I hope to see you in the next video. So until then, I'm Tim, and cheers.